lovely people. This is Nicole.
And this is Samantha.
With the power of we are here to switch it up and teach you about business, relationships, and how to not only survive, but make it in Los Angeles.
In each episode, we will have top influential guests from the world of real estate. We work hard.
We stage hard.
And we get it done.
The power of we.
Hey, Nicole.
Hey, Sam. How are you today?
I am amazing. I'm feeling good today. Thank you,
grateful,
God.
Feeling healthy.
Yes. Oh, my God. I'm so excited. I'm so excited because we've been trying to have all kinds of different guests on the show.
Yeah.
And we never have anyone that has mother-daughter teams.
I know. So it's so exciting to have our guests here today.
You know, people always say to us, how do you guys work together?
Yeah.
How
do you work together? How do you spend time together and enjoy it?
And we're very lucky because we have an incredible relationship, but we work hard at it. We make sure that we communicate, and we also do a lot of fun things, you know?
Yes.
So why don't you get into it? Who are we having?
Today, we're so excited to welcome Heidi D'Amelio to the power of we. Heidi isn't just a mom of social media powerhouses, Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio. She's a powerhouse herself. From her early days as a model and a personal trainer to becoming a successful entrepreneur, influencer, and the star of The D'Amelio Show, Heidi has shown what it's meant to embrace opportunities and stay true to yourself. She's built incredible family businesses, partnered with iconic brands, and uses her platform to give back in meaningful ways. We can't wait to dive into her journey, her passion for family, and how she's kept it all together with so much grace and authenticity. Welcome, Heidi!
Welcome, Heidi! Yay! Oh my God, I'm so excited you're here. I can't even tell you. I like to cry because I know as a mom how proud I am every day, right? And it's like we don't get to have a lot of mothers on here that have, you know, successful children and you're like someone I look up to. So I am so excited to hear your journey. And, you know, one of the things that I really want to ask you is, how do you stay true to yourself?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. And I agree with you on the mother-daughter thing. Really cool. And I always love being around other mother-daughters because you just get it. How do I stay true to myself? I mean, I think I'm ever growing, especially
in this business. You got to grow.
Yeah.
I think especially, you know, Mark and I being empty nesters, and
that was awful for me. I'm not going to lie.
Whole trying to be true to yourself. Well, who am I? I've been a stay-at-home mom all these years. I have to figure out who I am again because that was, you know, my everything. That was my identity, wife, mother.
Right.
And one thing Mark and I feel like did a good job with is always had that conversation when the kids were very little, like, they're going to leave the nest and it's going to be me and you. So we got to work on this.
But
always.
wait, how did you feel when they left the nest?
Honestly, there was a lot of unexpected feelings going around.
Right.
So Dixie moved. She was ready. She would have been in college. And she was like, I think I want to get my own place. So she moved out, and I was so excited for her. That's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah,
you
it's so
have your own
exciting.
place.
But she didn't move far.
Well, the first time, no, not far. It was like a few miles.
See, that's the thing.
But they
when
moved
she
closer.
moved far, I was losing
my.
I lost myself.
She wasn't far, and so it was all about like, let's decorate it, and it was fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was super fun, and she loved it. And then Charlie was so Dixie was in that apartment. And she said, I don't want to live alone anymore. And she was like, Charlie, we know what it's like to live together, so live with me. And Charlie's like, I'm not leaving, because she lived with us. And Dixie's like, you're about to be 18. Move out and live with me. And she was like, no, I don't want to. And so I was very encouraging. I said, you don't know because you've never experienced life and the independence of, not even like, she had a lot of independence. She just was to be at home.
Right.
And so just in your own space.
Yeah, it's just different.
You know, it feels different, and you are going to love it. I know your personality. And she was not wanting to leave. So it's moving day, and Mark's like, you don't have to go. Just stay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, we're launching here.
Right.
We're going. This is going to be good for her. And he's, I don't think she should go. And in front of her, and she's like, yeah, I agree with Dad. And Charlie,
That's so funny.
And Charlie was like, Mom, you're always crying because you're emotional, and your baby is leaving, and you're pushing me out the door. I'm like, it's not like that. I just know.
Yeah.
I know, especially after everything and the girls blowing up on social media, I needed to make sure we created the normal, normally you would be going off to college.
Yeah.
Right.
Go. You need to go, and you need to figure yourself out. And
Which is a
important.
huge question to a lot of people. Like, they have to, a lot of people are in this Instagram thing. I'm not a big Instagrammer, so that's why you're going to hear these terms. And then, like, they had to make a choice: college or their career, right? And I'm reading a lot of articles right now. Kids are like confused which way to go, because they're not there yet. So how did they, obviously they got really big quick, but do they regret not going to college, or how did that?
Dixie admitted, and I'm not sharing anything that she has not already shared. Like, she was there. She was like, she was going to University of Alabama.
Oh,
she's like, I'm here for the football games and the parties. Like,
Yeah.
let's be honest.
That's a big part of college. Like, I'm going to be honest.
You should really know about that, Missy.
When you go to college, like, it's your first time, like, away from home. Everyone's partying. It's fun. You're with all your friends all the time. So,
so we were living in the Northeast. I'm from Louisiana. So she looked there, LSU, fell in love with Alabama. So she was all in. She had her roommates.
Nice.
So she was in, and then the girls blew up on the internet, and then the school was like, we were a little concerned about safety and where is she going to be living.
Yeah.
And so she got this fat suite for her and her roommates that she just found, like, they found each other and okay, we're going to be roommates. And then decided, she had just signed with a record label. It's COVID. She's like, I'm not going to Alabama and sit in a dorm for
Right.
classes.
I don't blame her.
I'm not doing
Absolutely
that.
not.
And so she got her roommate set, and then she dipped. So, but her best friend from high school went to University of, she's going to kill me. Is it Wisconsin? No, wait, is that where Charlie's for go? I'm drawing a blank.
That's okay.
It's red. But anyway, and so she would go
Wisconsin,
visit
I
her.
think,
And so she's like, this is great. I get all the best parts of college without having to go to
Right,
class.
Yeah,
exactly.
But what's changed is now she's 23 and she loves learning. Like, the girl's always learning, always got a book, and just constantly that urge to want to learn. And and she says, like, it probably has something to do with that. I didn't go, but she's like, but I'm doing it on my terms, and I wouldn't change anything.
And that's great.
Well, and she can use it in your businesses.
Yes.
Like, I remember going to the Beverly Grove, and I saw you guys did a pop-up, right? Was that you guys for the shoe line?
Yep.
And I was like, that is so cool. I remember, and then when this came about, I go, I think that's the same family.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? And now they can use that in their everyday life.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Which is
And how is
amazing.
it working together?
So it's, it of course has its challenges. And again, creating a space for the girls to naturally grow on their own. Like, it's
is
not
so nice.
normal for your family to be like this.
Yeah.
From Charlie was 15 when all this started, 18, 19, 20. She's about to be 21. Like, it's not normal to be that tight.
Right.
So Mark and I just creating space for them to kind of be who they are and figure out who they are. So, but with that, it's as they grow, as Mark and I grow, how do we come into the relationship together?
Yeah.
And
I hope you have a good life coach.
I do. And just how to parent adult children changes.
Yeah.
I'm more
For
of,
sure.
I would say, a consultant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're
And to step back, like,
give space.
Nicole works for me. She runs the whole elite sales team. But I know when I need to step back and let her run, like social media. Sorry, Remy. I was freaking out yesterday on the reel going, this is weird. I don't even like the music. I'm like calling him, freaking out, and she's like, Mom, you need to just stay out of it. Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's a beautiful when we're in conference rooms with big companies or early on when all this happened, every studio wanted to meet, the family, and we would go in there and just, Mark and I would just sit back and like, they can hold their own. And they were
amazing.
young. And it was so cool to watch that. And then to see that continue as they're young women and just really have a voice. And they're just really, they have a good innate sort of feeling about whether it's business or what feeling is being put out there, and about people. They have a really
and I think
people.
that's because you guys did a good job raising them.
you.
I always like to take credit. I take credit. I have an amazing son who's incredible, and she's amazing. And I always say to myself, I worked hard at this.
Yeah, I definitely have had moments of, since all this happened, mom guilt, and actually last year I was I got really emotional, and I was like, and I was telling the girls, I just feel so like I was tough on you guys. Like I had rules, and you had to, you're a part of a family, and this is from when they were young. They had chores, and there was things that they needed to do.
This is so important. I'm so glad you're talking about this today, because I think a lot of parents think they don't need to give their kids rules.
But I think that gives them character. Like,
yeah,
personally, I think like I had the same kind of like childhood, and that gave me a sense of like duty and responsibility growing up, or else I wouldn't, have that. Yeah. So I think it's important too.
I think too, Mark's always been they had Mark being always an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So creative. Which is great
to watch as a
and
kid.
Then it's funny because his rules, like he was very particular about certain rules, and I was like, that's crazy. But my rules are the best. And he looked at my rules, he was like, that's crazy. So between the two of us, we had it covered. But anyway, so as I'm feeling this last year, the girls, they live really close to each other. At the time. And then they were like, we were just talking about this. We are so lucky that you guys raised us how you did, because we see a lot of kids, people our age that it's obvious they didn't have that.
Exactly.
And like good people just don't, I remember
different values.
They were little. We would be out to dinner, and he would make them figure out the tip, and how to tip, and how to respect.
So you were teaching them life skills.
They learned by being with us, but how it's important to look at your waiter in the eye. Like this is their job, and don't be an. Can you curse on here?
Yes,
don't be an asshole.
Exactly.
And how to. The value of their work is, what you're leaving them on that tip and how that matters. Anyway, and they did make me feel a lot better of like, don't feel bad.
Right.
You did.
But we always have mom guilt about something.
So all of that being said, where I am right now, I feel confident in what I did as a parent and what Mark and I did together.
It's amazing.
And, you can only go from where you are.
And how long have you and Mark been together?
We'll be married 25 years.
Wow.
And that's incredible.
That's
Congratulations in Los Angeles.
I'm very lucky.
Yeah,
he's lucky.
that's amazing.
How'd you guys meet?
I was a personal trainer in New York City. I moved to New York City from Louisiana to try my hand at modeling, but I was a personal trainer to pay the bills because modeling was all over the board. And the guy that ran my gym, when he and Mark were in college, were roommates. And Mark's from New York City. He was born there. And so he was like, give me a gym membership to his friend. He was like, okay. And he was like, you got to meet this girl. And so anyway, that's how we met.
That's
and it
very
was
cool.
instant. I knew right away. I was like, wow.
So, speaking of life coaches, I know I asked you about that. I'm super big on coaching. So I love to have coaches. I have a business coach, and we have a life coach who actually was on here, Camila Segra Delarope. And she was one of the main people on Dancing with the Stars in London. It was called
amazing.
Strictly Come Dancing.
Strictly
so
Come
she's
Dancing,
like,
and she was recently a judge on
in New
as well.
Zealand. And so I saw that you went on there.
Yes, I was on Dancing
How
with the
was
Stars.
that? I would have been freaking out.
It was every part of your being. So your emotions, your thoughts, and can I remember choreography?
Yeah.
Your physical body, everything was running at the highest level.
Wow.
I bet.
Not optimally, by the way.
Yeah.
It was hard. It was intense. It was hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of dance.
Wow.
6 days a week and then a show day and
Wow.
then start over the next
Wow.
week. But all of that being said, it was really cool to do it with Charlie. It was cool that, I mean, we'd ride to the studio together and ride home, and half the time we were just crying. I'm like, I know. And it was just because you're, obviously she's a different level of dancer than I am.
Yeah.
Right.
But her coach is pushing her to her limit. My coach is pushing me to my limit.
Yeah.
So the limits are top. So
Right.
everybody on there is struggling the same, but
Right.
what a great, I mean, we go every year, Mark and I go to tons of shows.
Oh, fun.
and
That's
great.
it's family. Like
Yeah.
once you go through it and then you meet, like we were hanging out with Lance Bass and he was like, yeah, I know. Like you don't even have to say
Yeah.
anything. You just know, like, yeah, we did that. That was
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
easy. But it was a great experience, and it gave
It toughened you up for sure.
It gave me the growth that I think I would have naturally had over time in 10 weeks.
That's great. I mean,
So,
Wow.
but sometimes when you have so much growth so fast, I need to catch up
can't
here.
catch up, yeah.
And so it took a long time to settle into this. Wow, I can really push myself. I can really push my thoughts and how I can remember things. And I prior to that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't remember anything. And I'm like, yes, I can, because I
Yeah.
can remember choreography. And just and my body, in the gym
Right.
when I'm working out, I'm like, okay, you've done harder than this.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And so I know I can push myself, and how much your body
And your brain,
and your
too.
brain
Yeah.
is so resilient, and it'll catch up. Like, just go. So I love
so
that.
impressive.
That was really cool.
I would have been definitely very nervous.
Oh yeah,
So the day you actually performed, was
yeah.
it like,
So week one, I almost quit that week.
I don't blame you?
And I said it on camera when Alfonso like interviews you after your dance, and everybody was like, "What is she talking about?" I didn't tell anybody, but
Yeah.
I was planning my exit.
Oh,
What am
yeah.
I going to tell them? I just
Right.
cannot do this. I
Yeah,
cannot remember it.
That's
And
the
then-
hardest part.
Yeah, it's like
It's the
getting
hardest
through that mental
part.
of it. I think.
I know. I
Yeah.
did dance growing up in high school, and I would like, how am I
is
going to
hard.
remember this?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And especially when you're not
And
25.
so it's live, and then you have judges, and then you have, so most of the time I would forget there were people watching it
That's
in
good,
their
though.
homes,
Yeah.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
that was you can't. It's
Yeah.
just
Too much to process.
But good
But
for
the first
you that you
week
did
one,
that.
the music started, and I literally shook my ass to the camera, and I guess we're doing this. Here we go. It was a lot of fun.
Oh my god,
That's-
fun! So fun.
So what is your? I know you have a lot of different. Your hands in a lot of different things. And is the shoe line like your baby or?
We have a lot of babies, but
Yeah. So what's going on with you?
so
What's
we've
happening?
We've had a two new flavors of our popcorn come out. Be Happy
exciting.
Snacks.
Oh, wow.
And we switched over from did everything, not making the popcorn. We had a place that did that, but
Yeah.
all the back end stuff we were handling. We ended up doing a licensing deal, so we do what we
wow.
do best. We do the marketing,
Right.
and they handle all of the other stuff.
That's great.
And it's a great company called Snacksational, and they've been phenomenal. And so we got two new flavors: birthday cake and sweet and salty,
Yum.
and they are so good.
Oh my god, I'm obsessed with popcorn.
And then the other
honestly.
ones we had are cotton candy and white cheddar, which are
Yum.
chef's kiss. So super excited.
And where do
about
you
that.
sell it?
So it'll be in Walmart.
Oh, cool.
Like the next week or so.
Amazing.
So very
That's
excited.
it.
We were in Walmart before, and then we just had some challenges with learning popcorn business.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
And all that comes with that.
Very niche.
So a lot of mistakes. And we partnered with someone that.
So
knows
when
what
you
they're
drop
Amazing.
something new, do you guys actually show up and do something at the store, or how does that look like for you?
When we initially dropped, we went to the Walmart headquarters in Arkansas, and we did a bunch of content there, and that was really cool. And then we went to different. We went to a couple different Walmarts and just did content, and then we were in 7-Eleven, we were in all the Albertson stores, so we would go to different stores and do content. But a lot of it, we just do it on our own, the content. And then this launch with our partner, they did the Expo West, so it's like a snack food, more on the healthy side, snack food convention.
Oh, yeah.
And so we did that a few weeks ago, Mark and Dixie and I, and
That's fun. I love conventions.
it was wild. It was wild.
Conventions
And
are
it was
amazing.
So great. People were really excited about the
That's
popcorn,
what I was
and we
gonna
had it
ask.
out. We were like, tell us the truth.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of good response. So it's really good. So we're very excited about
congratulations
that.
on that.
Thank you.
So if you were going to, let's think about this. You have your hands in so many things. There's got to be a bucket list that you haven't checked yet. What is that?
Me personally, so I want to be in Sports Illustrated. I'll take digital.
Love that.
I'll take
Wow,
hard copy.
that's amazing.
Not for maybe the reasons people might think. I don't want to be in it, so I want people looking at my body. It's not even about that. It's about I've been lifting weights since I'm 18 years old.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Prior to that, I was an athlete, but hardcore, like consistently lifting weights since I'm 18, and just when over the years, my reasons for it have changed. I love it, which makes everything else very
Wow, I
easy.
wish I loved it.
I absolutely love it. I love getting stronger. I love building muscle. So all of that being said, now that I'm getting, I'm 53, and it's the shift, probably in the last 10 years, is I want to be able to, when I'm 80,
Yeah.
be able to handle my own body weight.
Right,
and
exactly.
Good
That's
point.
so important.
put things on a shelf over my head. So that has shifted as I've
Right.
gotten older.
Yeah.
And I just am so excited about that. And it's never too late. I have a group of friends that started working out, kind of empty nesters. And they're like, oh, I need to pay attention to me because we forget sometimes.
Yeah.
And now when I go back to the East Coast, we all go work out together. And it's so
Rewarding.
amazing to see their progress. It's never too late. And that I want to just shout from the Sports Illustrated mountaintops is that, don't think it's too late. Like start
That's
anytime
true about anything
Yeah.
you're
and
saying.
build muscle. Muscle mass is going to take you way farther than any cardio.
Yeah,
will
huh?
take you.
That's
So-
I'm not a professional, so don't quote me
So
on
people
that,
who
but-
are just starting to work out, what do you recommend? Because I know a lot of people even my age, when they go to the gym, they're like, well, what do I do here?
Yeah.
what?
yeah.
totally normal.
And
I also
people
feel
go
like
on the treadmill, but cardio isn't.
Yeah.
I feel
Same.
like
I want to hear about that because I hate going on the treadmill.
Yeah, I think people go on the treadmill because they don't know what else to do.
Right.
Exactly.
It's like,
100%.
okay, that feels safe.
Yeah.
What first thing I would do is go to Chat GPT and just
That's a great
hey,
idea.
I'm trying to build muscle. I've never worked out
Yeah.
before. I want to go in the gym 3 days a week. Give me a routine.
That's great
brilliant.
And
advice.
just, if you're new and just use the machines.
Yeah, that's what I'd
it's
like to
very
do.
easy, but then branch out, use free weights,
Yeah.
do squats, and be balanced. That's the
Yeah.
other thing. I see girls, especially in LA, they just do squats. I'm like,
Yeah.
I get it, but
Yeah.
you're gonna build an unbalanced.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Your insides, your muscles,
Right.
not what the outside is gonna look like. Yes, but more of, you're going to cause problems if
Right.
you're not doing things
It's so true.
evenly. And so I lift 3 days a week and I condition 2 or 3 days a week. So
That's awesome.
So you work out 6 days a week. Yeah. I'm a kickboxer
love it.
myself.
Ooh, I love that.
I'm obsessed. I
love
told
that.
the girls if they sell a certain amount this month, I'm going to take them all to the kickboxing
Oh,
class.
fun.
We're going to do box and brunch. So we like to
I wanna
motivate
come.
them. You have
You have to come.
You would love
fun.
it. He is amazing. And I did it by myself. I'm like, you need to do the class by myself so I don't look like a fool. You know? And I was like, oh my God, I got to do this more. My cardio is definitely not there, but it's so much fun. Great music. I just love that.
That's
I love
awesome.
I love to dance.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Is there one like family like ritual you guys have that you love to do?
I know this is kind of like maybe not the direction you were thinking, but our sort of signature D'Amelio family is to go do nothing in the Bahamas. Just go.
Nice.
That's
go
great.
to the pool.
What do you
Go to
mean?
the beach.
I love
Yeah.
that.
That's because you're working so much.
Yeah.
I
Get
think
to
it
enjoy.
feels so
Yeah.
good when you're there
Yeah.
because you get to just disconnect.
Yeah.
And that it just
like,
means
spend
so
time
much. But
together.
when we lived on the East Coast, it was such an easy flight, and we would go down like when the girls would.
That's nice.
And it was the time. It was the only time Mark would disconnect because he was
Yeah.
always when you're an entrepreneur, you're never
always
off.
working.
Yeah, I know.
And so that was the only time. So it meant so much to us as a family.
That's
So I
sweet.
feel like that's probably something.
And do you
That's
still
nice.
do that?
Yeah.
That's great.
really nice.
I know. For us, it's really important that we are. I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm constantly doing 80 different businesses as well. And she's becoming like this, and now I'm
Yeah,
like, I have
Brandon.
to,
Are your
and
kids
my
like that
son.
too?
We're all like that, so
Yeah.
we have to definitely meditate in the morning and meditate at night. Otherwise, we're all over the place.
Yeah.
you know. And I can always hear what my son calls me, and he doesn't feel on top of it. I'm like, have you been meditating?
breathe.
No,
Yeah.
no.
breathe.
But it's so
Yeah.
easy to not meditate.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh, Mom, you're driving me crazy." I'm like, "Oh shit, I didn't meditate
Yeah,
today."
I feel like too, and I do the same thing. I'm like, oh, I need to do that, and when I do it, I'm like, how do I function without doing this?
Yeah.
Stop
Right.
doing that.
Exactly.
You just sometimes you fall off of your
Yeah.
things,
And also, like, you know,
It's the same
we
for
deal
working
with
out.
so
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
people in Los Angeles, clients, and like all different kinds of personalities. It's not easy. So it's like I tell my girls, I like even when we do a meeting, I do a quick meditation for them so they can not take everything so personal.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
can like step outside of them, listen to what they're saying, but don't take it personal. It took me many years to learn that because I really wanted to freak out on a lot of these clients.
I love that.
They
That's
don't.
great
They don't
practice.
give me the clients
Yeah.
until they can try and save them themselves.
I mean, I think LA is a crazy place. Like, there's so many personalities, and it's so fast paced.
Yes.
That, like, everyone's kind of like, like on to the next, you know. And since you're not from here, like, how'd you like get used to like
Yeah,
the
this
LA
is a
culture?
great
I feel like it's a
question.
very different culture than anywhere else.
I feel like our transition here was probably a little unique. So we were coming here a lot, and then COVID happened. And so we were just in our house in Connecticut, and the girls had a few campaigns that needed to be shot. And the girls were like, we're not flying back and forth
Yeah.
during COVID. And then they were like, then they were on a mission. So Dixie's looking up houses for us on Zillow. They had a whole presentation.
That's
Dixie's
hilarious.
like, Charlie, cue the tears. Meanwhile, Mark works for himself. He can work anywhere. And we
Yeah.
were already looking for, when Charlie graduated, like, where do we want to, we knew
Right.
we wanted to be somewhere warmer. So it wasn't that big of a stretch. So we ended up moving here the one time. Then we moved in, rented a house sight unseen, and
Wow.
just kind of did it. But it was COVID, so there was nothing going on.
Right.
You know, so we were just,
I hope you got a great outdoor area during
yeah,
COVID.
we had a pool, and it was cool. So it wasn't the traditional
Yeah.
move to LA.
Yeah.
There were a million things going on prior
Right.
to that for
Yeah.
us, and then it just kind of stopped. So
Yeah.
it's been slow, and then, you know, the girls like to be home when they go out, especially at that when things were starting to open up. It was
Yeah.
so chaotic.
Yeah, I bet.
So they were like, it was draining, and
Yeah.
so that they weren't always like excited about going out. But
Yeah, it was probably a
Um,
lot because they
now
blew
that-
up really fast.
Yeah.
Was it like an
Really
overnight
fast.
thing?
felt like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? How old were they when they got
Charlie was
discovered?
15.
Wow.
Wow,
And
that's
Dixie
young.
had just turned 18.
Wow.
how
And
did
how
you,
do they
like-
handle it?
Yeah.
How do they handle all this? That's a lot to
I mean, that's
handle.
crazy.
You know, they've said like it doesn't feel real, that
Yeah.
amount of people watching what you're doing on the app, you know? So, but they knew early on that they knew it was an opportunity to, you know, follow their passions.
That's nice.
And it could open doors for them. So they knew that. And so they were, it wasn't easy. It was emotional.
Of course not.
You're trying to figure out who you are, and you have
Yeah.
millions of people telling you all these horrible things.
Yeah.
And so I remember when all this first happened, someone, I don't know if it was our agent, but they said it takes 5 years for it to kind of be like,
Interesting.
okay, people are going to say what
Yeah.
they're going to say. And
Yeah.
we're right about at that mark. And that's,
How it
we're kind of
feels.
like, oh my God, that's so stupid. So we don't even like, oh, whatever.
And
Yeah.
it's great because you're a tight family. And being
Yeah.
a tight family, they have the support. I can see how amazing you are with your kids
thank
and your husband as well.
Yeah.
So that's really
Yeah.
a huge part of it. Like,
Yeah, and they've said that, thank God we have that because the foundation
Yeah, it's
and
everything.
has to be there.
because you get a
Absolutely.
little lost in the comments and then you come
sure.
back and this feels really good.
Yeah.
So, and also, of the four of us, if it would have only happened to one, as much as we are there to support, of course, you don't really know what it's like,
Understand.
you know.
Yeah,
So
that's
we've
true.
all gotten hate. We all know what that feels like. And so we're all kind of, okay, who needs the most support
Yeah.
today?
Right.
There was a time where it got really ugly and it was like, oh. But now we're like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
That's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know
It's
what?
part
Not
of it.
everyone can like you. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
And
And
that's fine.
what is that book that just came out? That's their problem. I love that. I mean, trust me,
It's
we've
so
gotten
true.
a lot too. Especially now, we have a big group of beautiful girls that work for me, and I've always done that because everyone always says, "Why do you have all beautiful women always working for you?" Because I want to empower them and show them they come to me and they never staged. And when I started my staging company, there wasn't a platform for women to stage. So I created this platform for women to be able to have careers in staging. And so I want to make sure that women know that they can come start a career in this, right? And they can also learn spirituality, confidence, team building. It's so important because I worked in corporate. I know what it's like to fight my way. I am really tough. But people always think, are you from New York? I'm like, no. I'm just from LA. I think it's worse.
So wait, is staging male dominant field?
No, it's a woman.
But I would say like the agents are mostly male dominated,
yeah.
so the
Got it.
clientele is male dominated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, got
Yeah.
it, got it.
But there wasn't
So to
a lot
have
of-
these strong women come
Yeah.
in and to
Yeah.
do this job
Yeah.
and feel good.
Yeah, because
I
the
love
clients,
that.
and especially in Los Angeles staging, when I started in 2008, it wasn't like that. You did whatever you wanted. But now everyone thinks they're on Selling Sunsets. A lot of people think they're on that show, so they don't realize staging is about us placing the furniture, making it look aesthetic so that you want to buy the house,
Yeah.
not my furniture, right?
Oh, right.
And they get confused on that, and then they get all sideways.
Got it.
And so we're here to straighten them out. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So,
interesting.
but this has been amazing. So let me ask you this last question. Your daughters, right? So do they want what is their next step?
Well, you would have to ask them. Charlie's
Well, we would love to.
having the time of her life on Broadway. So she's there till September.
That's incredible.
And
Good for her.
it'll be almost a full year that she'll be on Broadway.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So
That's exciting.
she's just
Is she loving
locked
it?
in on that, loving it.
Yeah.
It's her kind of going away to college.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I mean, what an incredible
moved,
experience.
she moved back where we came
Yeah.
from. But
Yeah. Do you go back a lot?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Mark's mom and sister and our nephew and niece live in New York City, so that's home to us more
Yeah.
than here, but we're
Right.
making this our home.
Yeah.
So she's doing that. Who knows what's next? And Dixie's just, she took a step back to kind of like
Breathe,
What
maybe?
do I want? Yeah, breathe. Actually,
Jesus. In
And-
Hollywood, no one breathes.
and grow as a person.
Yeah.
Good
Good for her. That's
she's
amazing.
She's excited about life. And
Good.
Yeah.
We love
whatever
that.
comes next.
Well, this
we'll
is
see.
so exciting that we have such an amazing family. It's really important to our listeners that there are families out there that are actually making a difference,
Thank you.
So, we try and make a difference, and it's just been so lovely to have you on
Yeah.
here.
You're
So
wonderful.
I'm sure everyone knows who you are, so we don't have to ask your Instagram.
Heidi D'Amelio on all platforms.
But
Thank you so much for coming on the show. You're wonderful, and you have such a good energy to you, and you're so down to earth, and it's just been so lovely to talk to you.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me on. It was nice to spend the afternoon.
Yes, thank you.
Or is it morning? I don't know.
Who knows?
Yay.